Hi, everybody. My name is Ashley, Residential Hall Director here at SUNY College of Old Westbury, and I'm here to bring you another Adulting 101 series. So today is about getting to know yourself and personal growth. So I hope before you all came here today and came to watch this video today that you saw on the Res Life Instagram page our True Colors quiz. If you haven't taken that quiz before coming to this, please go do so now. Pause the video, wait on it. Go take the quiz. It's very quick, very short. All of the instructions are in there. And go take the quiz and find out your colors before coming here. Awesome. Hopefully you all have either already done that or you've paused the video and now you're back. And hopefully you've completed that quiz. So today what we're going to go over is kind of the results of those pieces. And we'll talk about what those colors kind of mean. It's really great to kind of get to know yourself a little bit better, especially as you're moving forward in your college career, because it gives you a better understanding of how you like to be interacted with. And it also gives a good example about how you can support your friends, classmates, teammates, coworkers, and knowing how to communicate with them to the best of your ability, so that way you're able to help support them in any kind of atmosphere. So with that, I'm going to start our presentation. Great. So this is a presentation put on by the Northwest Missouri State University. I do not claim for this to be my presentation at all, but it's a really good comprehensive way to talk about the True Colors test. So before we get started specifically on the colors, just some behaviors that lead to trust when you're talking about working with coworkers and understanding yourself and others is to talk straight and directly, to demonstrate respect, to create transparency, to right any wrongs that may have occurred, to show loyalty, to deliver results, to get better, to understand that we're not always at the best place and that sometimes we do need to get better, whether that's as a team or individually, to confront reality, clarify expectations, practice accountability, listen first, keep commitments, and extend trust. And that revolves to everybody that you're working with, whether we're talking about professors, classmates, group mates, when we're talking about group projects, coworkers, peers, supervisors. All of these things are really important, and these are all behaviors that lead people to trust you. And always assume good intent. It's really easy to assume that people are in there with bad intent, and I won't lie to you, it's not always the case in which people have good intentions, but if we assume good intent going in, we will get positive results coming out. Assuming that people are doing their best and doing it in the best way will lead you to approach the situation a lot calmer and a lot less defensively than if you assume bad intent. And even if it is with bad intent, assuming good intent usually diffuses the situation and helps to support a more productive environment. So the True Colors, it's an inventory designed to help you better understand yourself and to help better understand others. The activity is used to promote individual differences and to kind of see the differences in other people. A self-awareness activity that helps enable individuals to become aware of personality styles, and it's a good team builder to helping members to understand the preferred styles of people that they work with. So you guys right now are doing this True Colors test for yourself, so it's a great way to understand yourself. But this is also a great thing that you can create or bring to your place of work, to a classroom, to any other environment in which team work is required to help everyone kind of understand each other and help build a stronger team. Each color is reflective of a personality. So you'll identify with a primary and potentially a secondary color, and these are your preferred styles. The colors you do not choose, or the colors that are not within your wheelhouse, will have some characteristics that are representative of you. However, that's not your preferred style. As always, everyone is different, and everyone may have aspects that they feel that they can relate to in every single color. The one with the highest number generally is the one that you identify with most of the personality traits, and that's a preferred style in which you encouraged to be interacted with in the way that you interact with others. True Colors is valuable for improving your effectiveness in working with others. So what color are you? There are 4 different colors that you could be. It's blue, gold, orange, and green. So finding out what you are. So once you've ranked, these are the same instructions that you were given when you took the Instagram quiz. So you ranked each of the words in the row from 1 to 4. Once you rate them, you totaled your answers, and then I let you know which color was associated with which group. So the color with your highest score is your primary color. That is the one that you will mostly, hopefully, relate to. The color with your second highest score would be your secondary color. If you have a tie for either, once we start going through, choose the one with which you feel you identify the most. If you have an even score for both, there's a good chance that you feel that you kind of tend to go both ways and that there are strong indicators in both categories that relate to you. So this activity for them is to divide everybody into the room, but these are the different colors that you could potentially get. So for green people who are in this green group kind of see themselves in specific ways. So they may see themselves as superior intelligence, that they're 98% of the time that they're right. They're tough-minded, efficient and powerful, original and unique, rational, a great planner, calm, not emotional, precise, not repetitive, under control, able to find flaws objectively, and holding firm to policy. The ways that others may interpret a green personality would be an intellectual snob, arrogant, afraid to open up, unappreciative, stingy with praise, doesn't consider people in plans, critical, fault-finding, cool, aloof, unfeeling, eccentric, or weird. Now, again, when we're looking at these colors, all of them may not feel that they pertain to you. And as you kind of notice, the way that people will see themselves, even as we go through the colors, this will be true as we continue. As people see themselves, they're usually more positive connotations and more affirming words, where how others may see them may be more negative words and maybe more condescending type words. But that doesn't necessarily mean that's 100% true 100% of the time. It's just a possibility in the way that people who see themselves this way may act. It could be interpreted in a negative way. It doesn't mean that's who you are. That doesn't mean that's how everybody sees you. It's just kind of things to keep in mind, especially when receiving criticism from other people. And we'll see this again as we go through. So how to work with the green. So how to work with someone else who is a green color. Be aware about their curiosity for life. They will probably have tons of questions. These are the question people. Give things that challenge their problem solving abilities. So if you're a supervisor or if you're working with them in a group, give them the task that's going to challenge their problem solving abilities. Respect their need for independence. There's no need to micromanage greens. They're going to want to kind of like do some pieces on their own, even in the terms of a group project. Know that they're caring, even though they might not show it. And caring is shown in many, many different ways. They might not express it in, wow, I really care about you, but they might express it in finding ways to support you and finding ways to make it easier on all the other group members to get a certain job done. That's a way of showing caring. So just because it's not expressed in a way that may be quote unquote conventional doesn't mean that they don't care. Respect their inventions and ideas, and then give them time to process information. Sometimes it's hard for people to just take information and move with it. Sometimes they need to take a little bit to process and understand what that might mean for them or the direction that they were already going before being able to switch. For golds, so if gold was your strongest. So the way that you may see yourself is stable, providing security, being dependable, firm, always having a view, being efficient, realistic, decisive, an executive type, a good planner, orderly, neat, punctual, and expects the same of other people. Ways others may see a gold is rigid, controlling or bossy, dull, boring, stubborn, pig-headed, opinionated, system-bound, unimaginative, limiting flexibility, uptight, sets their own agenda, and a rigid idea of time. Again, you can see the same thing here. The way that golds may see themselves is, again, more positive and affirming words, whereas the way others potentially may see them are in more negative connotations. But again, that's not always the way that it is. It's just good things to have in mind. So how to work with a gold. Remember to be on time. Timeliness is super important. Trying to be extra organized and efficient. They're generous, but like things returned. So they usually lend you things, but you need to give it back to them. Do what you say you will do and make sure you keep up with deadlines as you say you will. Be dependable and loyal and respect their need for security. And security can mean many things. Security can mean security in time. Security can mean ensuring that everyone's going to keep up with all the expectations that they claimed that they were going to do. Security that something will get done in a certain amount of time, because they may be focusing not only on your project, but in projects in other classes. And so they need to know and be secure in the fact that, okay, this project's going to be done at Tuesday at 6:00 and we will be finished with it at that time because everybody did their parts to get us to that point, right? And so respect that, because it's really important for them to be able to continue on with their day. And it's also a good just practice for the workforce to be respectful of other people's times and needs. Blues. They see themselves as warm, caring, compassionate. They like to please people. Trusting, romantic, spiritual, creative, idealistic. They are definitely the people. So a people person. Willing to work tirelessly for a cause. Unselfish, empathetic, and wanting harmony. Others may see them as over-emotional, groveling, soft, too trusting, mushy, hopelessly naive, too nice, aloof, smothering, manipulative, ignoring policy to create chaos, talking too much, illogical, or incomprehensive. So how to work with a blue. Spend quality time one-on-one with them. Be aware that they wear their heart on their sleeve. They're going to be really obvious about how they're feeling and their emotions. If they're feeling tired, you're going to know about it. If they're feeling frustrated with you, you're also going to know about it. Listen to them as they listen to you. Be supportive. Share your thoughts and your feelings. Praise their imagination and creativity, even if it's not realistic. Praise the fact that they had the thought to be that creative and be that imaginative and work within what is possible. It's really important for blues to be the feeling people. They are the feeling people who want to be listened to, but who also want to listen to you. They want to be supportive and they want to support you. And I hope that you can support them back. They are the people who are going to ask how people feel about a project. They're going to also tend to be the ones who will make sure that everyone feels comfortable in doing the work that was assigned to them and that they want to do, because for them, the feelings of people in the group might be more important than the end goal of the process, even if that doesn't sound logical. And for an orange, they see themselves as fun-loving, enjoying life, spontaneous, flexible, adaptable, carefree, proficient, capable, a hands-on person, practical, a problem solver, a good negotiator. They're usually really, really good with their words. They're a here and now person. They do many things at once, and they're eclectic. Others may see them as irresponsible, flaky, wish-washy, not serious, spends time on things that they enjoy rather than things that they need to do, not interested in ideas, disobey rules, manipulative and not to be trusted, not able to stay on task, cluttered, and indecisive. So when working with an orange, be active with them. Do not slow them down. Don't, if they are trying to do the meeting and they're walking around while doing it, walk around with them. Like, sometimes you just need to have your body moving. Be spontaneous and fun. Compete in fun when appropriate. Be adventuresome and optimistic. Be energetic and ready to go. They are the doers, right? They are the people that once the plan is in place, they're going to go out and they're going to do it, and they're going to get it done because they have a plan. They're going to stick to it, and they're going to be active and going. They're also the people that probably will be out there promoting what's going on. If you're having an event or a program, they're usually probably ones promoting and talking with people, and the ones who are going to get people to come to your event. They're usually full of life and active and want to utilize that as much as possible. So in a nutshell, the greens will be the whys, the asking the questions, the figuring out what the purpose is. The golds will be prepared and they'll make the plan and organizing it. The blues will ask how it makes you feel and what people's thoughts and emotions are related to the subject. And the oranges will just do it. They'll get it done. They will accomplish whatever task you put in front of them. So it's really important to understand that you need a little bit of everything to kind of make a group fully work, right? Like you need someone asking, why are we doing this? What is the purpose of what we're getting done? You need someone to be super organized, even down to the little bitty details to make sure that you don't miss anything. You need someone asking how people are feeling about it. If you're not emotionally invested, or if this is a topic that doesn't mean anything to you, are you really going to be doing worthwhile work? And if you're not comfortable in a certain situation, then you're definitely not going to be able to do the work that was given to you by a professor. And then lastly, the oranges will get it done. Once it's actually in motion and once plans have been set, they're the ones that are going to actively put it out there. So again, it's good to have a little bit of everything on a group. And again, you may feel that you fall in between two categories, which is absolutely fine. And you may feel that you exhibit traits of multiple different colors. And that's also totally fine. We are each individuals, and we will all have something different to bring to the group, and maybe depending on the group changes what you need to bring, right? In most situations you might find yourself agreeing a question or someone asking, but if you're put into a particular group where you have 2 or 3 other members who are also green and you also relate to the golds, then maybe while they're asking the questions about why we're doing a project, you might then switch to asking how people feel about it, because nobody else in the group is doing that. So please recognize that like those pieces may change and you may adapt depending on the other people in your group. And that's perfectly okay too. Just because there are categories and there are little boxes doesn't mean you need to stick inside of them. They're just a good way to help you kind of understand yourself. So why is this applicable to you? It helps you understand how we work with other people and how we communicate with each other. So there might be times, you know, when you're in the classroom, in offices, depending on your club and organization, events, other things that are happening where you need to be able to work with other people who are unlike you, and having an understanding of where they may be coming from really helps you to work better as a group. And so it's really important when you're working on a team, when you're talking about an executive board of a club or organization, when you're talking about even something as small as a group project, taking that first meeting, or if you don't have a lot of time, taking maybe 15-20 minutes in that first meeting to talk to each other about how you like to be communicated with and what ways you work well with others. Doing that right at the beginning will probably help alleviate a lot of issues in the back end, because it will help others to have a good understanding and concept of like where you're coming from. And obviously maybe taking a little bit longer when we're talking about year-long clubs and organizations and different groups on campus that may require you to be working with people all year long on different programs and events. Taking an entire meeting dedicated to understanding how you work together and how you communicate and how others communicate with you is so important to having a cohesive group. So have you ever encountered that one person with whom you just couldn't communicate, had days where you felt like you were speaking a foreign language and no one else could understand what you're saying, or tried to communicate with a person with whom you normally communicate well, but just couldn't get them to see your side? Consider that each person approaches projects and conversations differently. Not everyone may approach the conversation or the project the same way that you will. Most people approach professional life differently than personal life. People definitely have different habits when you're talking about professional and personal, because they want to create that boundary. They don't want those two things to overlap. And sometimes they can't disconnect them, right? Especially when we're talking about classwork in college is where you kind of learn to understand those parts of yourself. So it's really important to understanding that sometimes they can't disconnect the two of them. So being able to meet that other person where they're at, super helpful. And sometimes understanding how you may be perceived, which is why we talked about the how others may see you, can help you understand how to better communicate. So Don Lowry is the creator of True Colors, and a quote from him is, "Successful people know who they are and what their true colors are. When you know what your core values and needs are and feel good about them, you can perform at your highest potential in every area of life. And when you share a working and mutual understanding of others' core values and needs, you have the basis to communicate, motivate, and achieve common goals with utmost dignity, efficacy, and mutual respect." So the conclusion of all of this is everyone has some of each colors. We each have our own strengths and weaknesses. You need to try to play to each other's strengths and consider how others would approach the ideas, projects, and communication, and use this information to become a better communicator and team player. And the last thing I will leave you with in regards to this presentation is always, always assume good intent. When we assume good intent, we assume the good in others. And it's only going to go better from there. The way that you approach a situation when you assume good intent is always positive. When someone approaches you and you assume good intent, it will only lead to positive interactions, and it will lead to a lot less. It'll lead to feeling the need to feel defensive a lot less. And it will feel like you can go into the conversation calmly and with a mutual understanding. So that is the end of my presentation for you guys. Sorry, trying to turn my camera back on. Thank you. So that's really the important part of the True Colors test. Feel free within this video to go back at any point, pause at any point, and take screenshots of the little pieces where it shows blue, green, gold, orange, about how people see you and how others see you, and utilize that to your advantage. These are really important things, and understanding yourself and other people is super helpful. There's also tons of other different types of quizzes out there that can help you understand yourself and help others understand you. On Friday, I'll be posting through the Res Life Instagram page some of these other quizzes and tests you could take. Some of them do cost money, and I'll put that on there if it does cost any kind of money. But that doesn't mean that you can't do it. It might be super helpful. Additionally, if you work in, some kind of job that requires you to do teamwork or club or organization, there may be a potential to be using club, organization, or job funds to take these quizzes and to help better understand you. Depends on kind of how your supervisor views these kinds of projects and doing meetings like this. So definitely take a look into them. I'll be listing a bunch of them that might be super helpful to either yourself or to a group. But yeah, that's what I'll leave you with today. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week. Last disclaimer, just please take some time for self-care this week. The past couple of weeks have been really stressful, especially in regards to the election. Take time for yourselves. Take time for self-care, whatever that means for you. If that means, going silent on social media, on the news channels for a little bit, on not texting or messaging in family or friend group chats that have gotten super political. Doing whatever works best for you to take some self-care and take some time to not be constantly thinking about it is really, really important. If you need anything, the counseling services here on campus are still available to you, even virtually. The residential hall directors are here to help support you. If you want to email, call, message on Teams and reach out, your engagement coaches are here, your advisors are here. Reach out if you need help, please. But with that, I hope you guys all have a wonderful day and a wonderful rest of your week. Have a great day.